Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Circle of Debate, episode 2020, we'll be discussing about Raw, the botches, retribution, buddy. So much commotion going on Raw. And also, pro wrestling news. Also, a re-signee, Cage's re-signing back. Also, as well, updated neck injury from one of the tag team partners, as well as a teaser. Are we seeing a teaser, the returning of a women's superstar? She coming back into the ring? That's very interesting to know, and we would like to know, is it true or not? Also, we'll be discussing about the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament. Also, we'll be discussing the G1 Climax dates, the matches announced already, as well NXT that happened this past week, and also we will discuss AEW Dynamite. So stay tuned, as episode 20 is going to start right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast, episode number 20. Wow, 20 episodes in, ladies and gentlemen. We loved it, and thank you once again for our viewers and subscribers for tuning in our weekly episodes. This is the host, the devious one, Ivan C, alongside with the Cordonas of the Cordonas, the Seidels of Seidels.
Or una de cabeza.
The Kellerman of the podcast, and that is Mr. NPC Matthew Steamboat. How are you, Mr. Steamboat?
Una de cabeza.
And we also have the man with the 12-inch pythons. The man that gives you the finger and telling you no. And you is what you're gonna do. When the great American hero, Mike Lopez, runs wild on you. How are you, my brother?
Episode 20. Can you believe it, folks out there? This is awesome. It's a cause for celebration, and I can't wait to get started. Let's do it.
All righty. Most definitely, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we do appreciate everybody for subscribing and tuning in to our weekly episode. We're blessed to have you guys' your support. Continue on spreading on the word. As you know, there's more episodes to come. Our brother from another mother, Reputation Killer, is Josh Hornet, is on vacation. I don't know how long he's going to be on vacation, but he's taking a good vacation. But he's enjoying life, and he's doing great on his vacation. He deserves it. Man works hard. But let's go ahead and start it off, gentlemen. Wow, what a week of pro wrestling. So let's go ahead and start off with Monday Night Raw. I want to go ahead and start off with the debacle, the botch that we saw with Asuka and Mickie James. Obviously, there was a little bit of a mistake here. The match was great. Do not get me wrong. It was a great match between both. Great back and forth matchup between Asuka and Mickie James. And then, obviously, the match was stopped. The ref stopped the match. Obviously, there was already confusion questions all over social media platforms of what happened exactly towards that match. And no, obviously it was the referee that screwed up. Everybody thought it was Mickie James because she was injured, but she was not injured. So it was just a botch from the referee. So, Mr. Hero, what were your thoughts about that botch? Did it catch you off guard? How did you feel about that?
I don't know what's going on here, because I feel like ever since she came back this time, Mickie James has kind of gotten the short end of the stick here, with her segment being interrupted by Rollins that one time. And now this, in a Raw Women's Championship match, for it to end in such a botch, I thought that I saw her tap in a replay, but it seemed weird because the music did not hit right after. So, obviously something went wrong. I haven't looked into things, excuse me, but I guess the referee was at fault. So, hey, gotta send it back to training.
Yeah, that's right. Go back to developmental. Oh man, that's bad. Mr. Steamboat, these type of botches going around. I mean, what's up with that? What's going on? What are your thoughts about it?
It's a surprise, especially like with the veterans involved in this match. Mickey James, Miss Hardcore Country. She's been around a minute. Mrs. Aldis. Just so much. So my response is the same with you as you. What's up with that? And you got Asuka in there too. So.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm hoping they're going to be booking this match for Clash of Champions, which I'm assuming they should. Should be another rematch and have another referee. Sorry, ref. You got to go back. You just got to go back to the back in line, man. Get back in line.
I counted too fast.
Right? You counted too fast. Or no, wait a minute. You tapped out. She pretty went like this. She just tapped on Asuka's leg. Doesn't mean that she tapped out.
I have to pretend I didn't see it.
It was just a debacle. It was a hell of a debacle. And also, I wanted to go ahead and mention the steel cage match between Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio. Another great match, another great performance with Dominic. He's really impressing a lot of us lately with his performance in the ring. And obviously, he lost the match. And then we did see Rollins turning on Buddy Murphy. And we see Mysterio's daughter, are you okay? You all right? Whoa, do we see a Buddy turning face? There's room in your window that, they're now high on Buddy Murphy of trying to make him a babyface now. Turning on the Messiah and obviously going solo as a babyface and making him a top, babyface star, which I don't see it coming, in my opinion. I do apologize for that. But, Mr. Hero, I'll go back to you once again. Your thought about that segment, and do you see Buddy Murphy going babyface, or, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't see him as a babyface. I just don't see it. I'm not too familiar with Buddy Murphy from his NXT time or before this whole Rollins thing, really. But I don't know. He just seems like a heel. He seems like the heel character, and I believe that he can, if he really wanted to, play the face. But I don't know. The weird part was this Aaliyah thing. Is there going to be kind of a romance thing there, perhaps, or could it lead to Triple H and Stephanie kind of a situation down the line? Who knows? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, most definitely. It could be a love triangle, not a triangle, but it's just a love scene. Maybe, you never know. But I'm with you 100% with that. It's harder for me to see Buddy Murphy as a damn baby face. I like him as a heel because he's really aggressive and being heel style. Unless he, has that ruthless aggression as a baby face, you never know. Maybe he does. But Mr. Steve, I'll ask you: Do you picture Buddy Murphy as a baby face, or do you rather have him as a heel?
I know one club that he's going to be added to, and that's the Club of Matthews. Once again, that list, because his real name is Matthew Adams.
So now we have Adam Murphy. Now we have Matt Murphy, and Matt Murphy. Now we have. You're the Murphys of all Murphys.
We got another guy added to the club: Riddle, Cardona, Seidel. We'll just keep swallowing.
It's just
my society of Matthews is growing.
And
now we got a buddy joining our club.
Most definitely. And now to the main event, obviously, which is the Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee. Obviously, Retribution came in and got involved, and then the Hurt Business got involved, and it was a whole brawlout outside of the ring. Next thing you know, you see Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre high-flying over the top. And, they're making Retribution and the Hurt Business very strong on this. A very strong faction. Now, it was revealed, obviously, who the identity of these gentlemen are, which I'm going to name them, which is obviously, Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, Dio Madam, that's just the male perspective side. And then we got so far the female is Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Mr. Hero, your thoughts about, the Hurt Business. Now they're making them look strong, and also it's Retribution. And how long do you see this Retribution last, and when their identities will be revealed?
It happens so often that heels pretend that they're up for the fight, and they say we'll do it on my terms, or no, we'll do it on my time. But no, the Hurt Business, they took off their their jacket there and stepped forward without hesitation. They went ahead and faced this retribution team, and knowing that they were outnumbered. So I
Kudos to them, man.
applaud. Kudos to the Hurt Business. These guys are really winning me over. That segment was what I needed to see from them, heel or not. They proved that they're badasses and they're tough and they can handle this retribution situation with the right motivation. So that's cool. And as for McIntyre and Lee, I mean, I guess they were there, and they did their little flip, from into the out, and Raw went off the air that way, and so I see this retribution group, and I gotta say that one of my biggest guesses about who they are is they're just the entire NXT roster.
Mm-hmm.
They appeared in this promo earlier in the night, and there was like 15 of them, and I really do feel like it's just the NXT roster looking to take over and looking to get the build for Survivor Series started. They won last year, and now they're trying to do it again. So that's what I think.
All right, Mr. Steamboat. What are your thoughts about the Hurt Business being up there already, being put on top, and Retribution? What do you feel?
Whenever new factions come out, one of the best things they could do is create an enemy for both heels and baby faces to unite against and fight against. So we get to see some more character development from some of the other wrestlers. We get to see new motivations and some feuds that because not all feuds are enjoyable. So some feuds that could just be either sidelined or postponed for the ones that you don't like, or just completely forgotten and bulldozed over in favor of something completely new. So it's like another way of starting over, more or less, without retconning everything and confiscating all the titles and doing all sorts of goofy,
Goofy shit.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, so let's go ahead and move on then with pro wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen, as we found out obviously recently that Jeff Hardy resigned with WWE. So you're not going to see him anytime soon in AEW because he's not going. This is now, I guess the brothers decided to go, their individual routes, which is a great thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But Jeff Hardy made one condition, and that is that he will be bringing back the theme song that we all love. Yep, he's bringing back, bring back No More Words. He's bringing that theme song back, but they're saving it for when the crowd is, when it could, come back to the live crowd. So I'm looking forward. And there's rumor your window as well that she's trying to bring Willow that he had in TNA and now known as Impact. He's trying to bring that to WWE to use to feud with Bray Wyatt. Very interesting. So I will ask you, Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about Jeff Hardy re-signing and not going to AEW and using he came to those terms with WWE in order for him to re-sign?
Okay, have any of you guys ever heard Jeff Hardy sing?
Yes, I have.
I think there was a video of him singing some song in Spanish that I saw, and I hope that's not out of the question now that WWE is kind of strict with third-party stuff or outside stuff. I want to hear some more Jeff Hardy singing because he's the only other guy I've heard of as a musician other than Jericho. But I hope that he gets that Willow character from Impact brought out. He's got some cool face paint and makeup ideas. It's good. This could be a good Jeff Hardy renaissance we're seeing. Because we've seen him at the bottom and now we can see him back at the top. So it would be cool.
Yeah, most definitely. Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts?
I remember hearing an interview. I don't know if it was Matt or Jeff that said this, that when Matt Hardy came up with the Broken character, that one of his main ideas or motivations to do that is to kind of take things a little bit slower, not always be the extreme guy, and give more life to his career by doing this. So I think it's a great thing because I feel that the Willow character will probably do the same for Matt. He won't necessarily be the extreme guy anymore, you know, or you know, the high flyer. He could do a character, you know, more along the lines of Broken Matt Hardy or even the Fiend, you know. So that opens up a world of possibilities if they let him, of course. You know, world of possibilities for Jeff, and who knows, maybe this could catapult him to a world championship again. Because I do feel like he left in I think it was 2009 or 2010. He left at the height of his popularity, so this could bring that back. And as for him re-signing, yeah, I mean, I would have those. I would want no more words as part of my contract too. You know, so I'm all for it, and I look forward to hearing that in person in at Staples Center when they come back. You know, hopefully soon.
Or the new stadium, the SoFi Stadium.
Or SoFi Stadium.
That's right.
Brother Nero.
Brother Nero. That's right. I knew you come. But yeah, I would definitely agree. I'm glad that, you know, they both went to their individual routes, different ways to end their careers. You know, because they're, you know, I'm not saying they're not still at the prime, which they still are in a certain levels. So I'm with you 100%, and I'm hoping, you know, Jeff Hardy will be back in the world title picture. How you did say when he did leave before, back in 09, 010, he did not leave in good terms because obviously he was a champ. He was already at the top of the, you know, the horizon, but, you know, obviously his past addictions got the best of him, and it was the touring dates. You know, being a world champ is not the best. It's not the easiest job. I mean, obviously you have to be, you know, available 24/7. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that overwhelmed him, which is the reason why he decided to leave. But I'm glad that he's back, and hopefully he's back in the world title picture. Well, at least the Universal Champion, or, you know, or the WWE Champion. Hopefully one day. You know, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. And also, all the more wrestling news as well, that we had more releases from WWE. Obviously, they're cutting back. The fact that they try to save money, moolah. So obviously, they let go of a lot of live staff, you know, employees that works for the live events. And they let go, obviously, Gerald Briscoe and IRS, Matt Rotundo, which they were currently on furlough, and now they're let go. And they're expecting more releases coming soon. So they're already they stated that it might be now more talent. Now more talent might be released. So that's a scary one. So we don't know what's going to happen on that. Hopefully it doesn't, but stay tuned for that. More news as well. Also want to give a congratulations to United World Wrestling that they did a great job on Fight TV when they did their pay-per-view event, which was the NWA title was defended, Nick Aldo versus Michael Bennett. That was a hell of a performance for Michael Bennett. You know, now we see the potential that he has, that he was not used in WWE, but he did a great job in you know, NWA, you know, facing Nick Aldis for the title. Obviously, Nick Aldis retained, but I'm glad to see that old school Michael Bennett back that we know from New Japan and from, you know, back in the, you know, the Impact days. So best of luck in the future for him, and, you know, keep an eye on that man. He has a lot in the tank still left. Also, now, this is the other intriguing part that I will ask you both gentlemen. Now that WWE's contract is about to expire with Thunderdome by the end of October, I believe. So, or the beginning of October. Yeah, by the end of October. My apologies. So they're actually now seeking other options to do outdoor venues, but more in the southern state areas. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero. You think they should? Is that a great idea? Bad idea? Should they stay in the Thunderdome, extend their contract? What do you feel about that?
Yes, outdoor venue, absolutely. You know, like I said a few weeks ago in the archive, that, you know, the UFC did this whole Fight Island thing. I really feel WWE could do like a Fight Beach sort of thing. Maybe not a complete island in Abu Dhabi or anything like that, but, you know, do like an outdoor, you know, fight thing happen, and have, like, you know, tiki torches, and McMahon is sitting right there like Shao Kahn or whatever.
Mortal
you know?
Kombat theme status, right? Like style,
Yes.
like oh.
Mm-hmm.
We could have a staff with skulls on it.
Absolutely. I mean, I would tune in to see that. You know, but but the possibilities are endless for them. Why? Because they're sports entertainment. Nobody's going to look down on them for being a little bit more experimental. I mean, come on, they're doing Raw Underground. Like, if they're doing that, they could do a Fight Beach sort of thing, and have people in attendance and have people who cheer and start chants like how we're seeing in AEW and all that good stuff. So they are kind of behind the ball, I feel. AEW, I'm glad to see that they have fans in attendance. Tickets are being sold. I'm honestly, I actually have thought about buying a ticket, going on a plane, and going to Dynamite myself. But
wow, there you go.
Yeah, I would like to see WWE do the same. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about WWE exploring other options?
I was seeing this post and I was thinking about it. I was actually thinking about this earlier today, and just for all live events in general, is that if you've got enough money and capacity to rent out large enough venues, you could either do one of two things. But you could either the further is continue with Thunderdome and have drive-in at the same time, so you get some people a little bit closer and a little bit farther. That'll probably allow you to have the largest audience without endangering anyone, or
Right.
just have more like a bigger drive-in wrestling event. The island idea is actually kind of what I had in mind for like AEW, especially because of like Puerto Rico is really close by. It's not that far away, and I'm pretty sure because the population, it's hard to get a population off an island to go like back and forth and constantly getting like people infecting from the mainland, because they're always. I think the good thing is if you have everybody tested 14 days in advance, you could have your show in Puerto Rico, and especially because AEW has all the Puerto Rican talent on their lineup, Diamante and Santana and Ortiz, and then there's even talks of bringing in this one like older veteran who's been in it for a while, who's like a legend in Puerto Rico. He's been in talks with AEW.
Oh, okay.
But with the WWE, they could just go to Hawaii. Like you said, the island I'm thinking of is like maybe Maui, or there's a lot of not so populated islands in Hawaii, so you don't have to deal with all the international papers with you, because so much how much of WWE's talent lives in Florida or are American citizens or currently reside in the U.S.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I guess like Hawaii is probably a very smart option. It's not that hard to build a ring there, and it's on an island, so people don't really go back and forth from there regularly. And as long as the talent keeps a far enough distance from the audience, I think you're good. Maui, some of the smaller islands, Kauai or something like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, both ideas are great. I love it. Also the other thing as well that WWE could do is they could build their own, like build a little one in their parking lot in right next to the Performance Center. They could do that as well. Build a little bit of their own and have a couple sections here and there, like at least it can be obviously not 10,000 people, 5,000 people, or like 3,000.
Just enough people to get the real crowd noise.
Exactly, and you could just have that. And I mean, they could do that as well. I mean, they have the money for it. You could might as well just build it yourself. Just build an outdoor right next to your big parking lot right there at the Performance Center. Why don't you just do that? You did that as another idea right there. Yeah, exactly, like a drive-in. You could do a drive-in as well. That would be something great too, to do something different. It's difficult because the fact is, once AEW, because come on. So the Khan family, they have their own football team, and that's their stadium. They own it. With WWE, is even though they have their relationship with Fox, and Fox obviously runs most of the NFL running the NFL, they could do it at NFL stadiums, but it's not worth it because it's just too big, and it's too overpriced. I'm pretty sure for renting it out for one day to perform there, it's a hefty price.
You need a wide stadium you can fit a lot of cars in.
Exactly. And or you could do it in a parking lot of a football stadium.
Yep.
Even that too.
Empty field.
Yeah, exactly.
At the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. At the Rose Bowl, you could do it as well.
Bring it to me,
I was thinking like Indy 500 or the Fontana racetrack.
You see this phone? You see Papa Vinny? Call us. You need to call us, damn it. We got ideas.
Or
Text us,
text
Man
if
down a
you're, if you're
racetrack.
shy.
email, message us on Instagram, or come on, Instagram, Twitter, message us. We'll respond to
even-
you.
You could even do it like this, like have the cars that pay more park closer, and then the cheap seats are the cars that are parked all the way back, But everybody, like when I went to the drive-in movie, is like some of the FM radio stations that they don't use, they use for like, you could get the commentary track on the station. So you could get, who's on commentary on, was it Michael Cole and
Corey Graves.
Michael Cole,
Cole and
Graves
Graves
on
are
SmackDown.
going to be there. Yeah.
Raw, it's Tom Phillips, Brian Saxon, and Samoa Joe. So I mean, I don't know. There's so many potential ideas they could do, and I mean they are going to go ahead and explore outdoor, and I hope they do it. I hope they do a great job on it, and I hope it works out for them. So we will wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. That we'll wait and see. Moving on with that, I also want to go ahead and move on as well. Wow, Sasha Banks coming out of Mandalorian season 2. Saw that little trailer. She's a Jedi. Whoa. So congratulations to Sasha. Congratulations, man. Good job.
I'm looking strong with that one.
Yeah, the Force is
I think they
strong
saw her with the
this one.
Singapore cane, and they were thinking like, okay, that could be a lightsaber.
You're right. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I can't wait to see. We all cannot wait to see how her talent is in the entertainment acting scene. So best of luck for Sasha. We're looking forward to seeing that. Also, we finally got what happened with the botch with Matt Sydal. We saw the BTE episode. We saw, Michael Nakazawa putting the oil on the turnbuckle. So that's the only reason, because of the botch. I'm like, wow. Wow. I mean, I'll ask you, Matt, what are your thoughts about that? Like, what the hell? I mean,
Nakazawa loves the oil, Much love to another one of my fellow Matts. Can I spoil? Well, is this a spoiler now if I talk about Matt Sydal's upcoming match?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so Matt Sydal, he's got an upcoming match. He's going to be in the tournament for the Ring of Honor Pure title. He's going to be facing Delirious. Yeah, he's facing Delirious, the former Ring of Honor booker, longtime veteran, and that's going to be kind of cool to see. And the interesting thing about it is that, Matt Sydal, I think he's one of the first people who's actually simultaneously working AEW and Ring of Honor at the same time. I know he doesn't have a contract, but it's going to be kind of cool seeing them on somebody on both of those shows.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. And I believe you brought this up, before we went on the air. And I wanted to ask Mike about it too. So Matt Sydal is the first person to perform in Ring of Honor and AEW, right? I don't remember. Same time. I don't recall anybody else doing it. Do you know any? No, right? Okay. So I guess, Matt, that's correct. What we thought about that, about that little botch right there? What happened, Mr. Hero? Nakazawa really with the oil? Come on.
It's a good save, I guess. We know that Matt Sydal could pull off the move. That's why for me it's like, okay, it happened. Accidents happen, whether they're caused by somebody else or not. It's like it's whatevs for me. It happens.
All right.
I wonder if they're going to even go a little bit further with this joke. If like Matt Sydal would show up to AEW Dynamite or Dark wearing the Shockmaster's helmet, that same Stormtrooper helmet,
oh my
with the sparkle,
God.
The entire outfit.
Fun it even more.
The entire outfit would be better.
The whole entire Shockmaster, Matt Shockmaster Sydal, just all over again.
Has a ring to it.
There you go.
I'd buy that shirt.
Pro Wrestling Tees, put it on right now.
ET might even do that. I don't know. They have a habit of, like, the Michael Nakazawa joke. It used to be just saying Michael Nakazawa on its own was like the way to troll Matt Jackson, and now they might do this again. I don't know.
You never know, right? But moving on with that, so we got 2 huge teasers that I was like, whoa, this is what's going on? What? Wait a minute. No. So I'll give you the first one. The first one is obviously Teal Piper actually was She had, torn meniscus, which Teal Piper, by the way, is Roddy Piper's daughter. She's a professional wrestler, and obviously she's in the indie circuit. She's returning back into the ring after 6-7 months of not out of action because of the surgery, and was training with JTG and with other performers, and including one performer that shocked me on the night. That is Rowdy Ronda Rousey. So do we see a possible return of Ronda Rousey returning to the ring? She's in good terms with WWE. Nothing's bad at all. I don't know if she's still under contract. I believe not. I believe still. But your thoughts, Mr. Hero? Do we see a return of the Rousey?
A return is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's not an if, it's a when, right? I really believe that. I honestly wish we could see her in the octagon one more time, but I really don't think it's going to happen.
No.
But as for wrestling, yeah, it's going to happen. I don't know if it's soon, but it's going to happen for sure. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Steamboat, do you see a Ronda return anytime soon?
Did we never got that Asuka versus Ronda fight, did we?
No.
No. That was kind of the one I was awaiting for a little bit, because that the one Asuka promo, the short Asuka promo that kind of stuck in my head was, forget about Ronda. Asuka is champion now.
Oh.
Like that stuck in my head, and I still am like, I kind of want to see that continue. Just more like any Asuka Ronda interactions, That's like a WrestleMania we missed out on.
Oh yeah, that they dropped the ball. Papa Vinny, you dropped the freaking ball on that.
Hey, this is a phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Use it, McMahon.
Use it. Use it. You know how to, don't be like Cornette, who has still a flip phone to this day. I hope not. Okay, do not.
I got a BlackBerry,
or BlackBerry. Oh my God, a BlackBerry. They still exist, by the way. I can't believe it either. But anyways, I mean, with Ronda returning, we could see it. Could be a spoiler for Royal Rumble. You never know. So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. You never know. Could be a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania rematch. That's it, Becky. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, though. But, yes, I'm with you 100%, Mr. Steamboat. We all want Asuka Ronda. That would be a great match to see. Or even Ronda versus Shayna Baszler. I would like to see two best friends going at it with each other. There's so many dream matches that Ronda could have, with this current talent in the, of the women's roster. So many. So
it would be like the female version of Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock.
Oh my God!
WWF.
Yep.
During the Attitude Era, we could see it'll be a little bit of that all over again.
Yeah.
So.
That's most def right there. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if she's gonna come back because she took all this time off to get pregnant and it never happened. I guess. What's going on over there, big guy? I mean, I'm not hating, man. I love you. I'm not trying to start no shit with you, but I'm saying, what's going on downstairs? But yeah, none of my business. I try to start shit. And then the other major one that I was like, please let it happen because I want it to happen. And that is, so we haven't seen her in the ring since the FCW days. She was formerly known as Raquel Diaz. She is the daughter of, excuse me, and of course, Latino Heat. That's right. Eddie Guerrero's daughter, Shao Guerrero, is taking bookings now for wrestling independent circuits, alongside with her husband Matt, another one named Matt, the Drama King, formerly known as Ada English. So there was a little social media platform, her and the Drama King training, and now it looks like she might come back to the ring. The reason why she left was because of, health issues, very personal, which is, we don't know the details, which is understanding. But she retired from pro wrestling and just wanted to do ring announcing or, commentator, just behind the scenes more. But now that we see her back in the ring, Mr. Hero, where should she go? And I'm excited because we finally have a Guerrero. Finally she's coming back into the ring. I know it's been a long time. I forgot what year that she left, that she has not been in the ring. But finally, the Guerrero family back. Where do you see Shaw? Do you see her AEW, or do you see her back to WWE? What do you think?
My gut tells me AEW, but my other gut tells me WWE. Why? Because if Aaliyah Mysterio is going to be a character, we got to get that next gen rivalry going. The girls, the daughters, like, hey, my dad and your dad went at it in a ladder match, and now we're gonna do it. So, hey, why not, right? But I don't know. I never saw her in a match, so I don't know how ahead she got as far as in-ring ability and stuff like that, and especially with all this time off, because it's been years.
Yeah.
So maybe an AEW would not be the best right off the bat. Maybe like how she's doing some independent bookings, kind of get the ball rolling again, and get warmed up, and then seeing how it goes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts?
I gotta say, I'd go slightly more towards AEW, mainly because Chris Jericho's really protective of his extended family. He's very they're he. I wouldn't say he coddles them, but I know whenever Jericho's there, it's you're one of his kids, more or less. He's pretty protective of Brian Pillman. He's pretty protective of, he makes sure you do well, and it's almost like a mentor. He's protective of Brian Pillman, David Benoit, all of his extended, the sons and daughters of Jericho, basically. And he's got so I have a feeling especially since it's Eddie's daughter, and he was really close with Eddie, I have a feeling Jericho's gonna kind of watch over and make sure she's not, and especially since AEW allows more freedom, he's gonna convince her over here's better. I've got some pull over here. Over in WWE, you don't have any pull. It's just whatever Vince wants. Or whatever Hunter wants, whichever you pick. If you're on NXT, it's whatever Hunter wants. If you're on the main roster, it's whatever Vince wants.
Yeah.
Or whatever, how much time he has left.
That's true. I mean, it's a tough one, but I do agree with Mike. I mean, yeah, she should take first independent booking, get back into the ring, how she will, get that feeling back. It's been a long time. I mean, she was a former FCW Women's Champion. So I'm looking forward to see. The last time we saw her do any type of ring performance was for Lucha Underground for the last season when she did Three Amigos. And then obviously Chavo came in and did the Frog Splash. To I forgot who it was, and that was the last time I seen that. And I'm like, wow! I'm like, oh my god! I'm excited to see her back in the ring, and I would love to see that character as, her that Latina heat, that mamacita, her being the mamacita aggressive one, oh my god! There's so many ideas I could just throw at her, hey, look. But I mean, you're your own character, you're your own you. I know you don't want to be here like your father, but it'll be great to represent him. But you can do it. Obviously, you can do it your way, but it'll be great to represent him this style. Using the light, we cheat, steal. So I'm looking forward, and hopefully we'll see her in. Maybe I will have to say AEW because her one, mom is there, Vicky signed. So and two, how Matt said about Jericho is very protective as well, and obviously there's not overwhelming dates. And, of course, still use her in storylines here and there. So I think, yeah, I see her in AEW.
You'd be kind of like a cute mother-daughter storyline. It's honey, you need to get back to the car. You're not wearing that, Missy.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You are not wearing that to the ring.
we could have fun moments like that. So that'll be kind of young lady.
That's right. And also I have another one right quick now before we move on. I want to go ahead and bring this up to Mr. Hero. Now, it was an interview that Mr. Daniel Cormier pitched an idea for Mr. McMahon. I'm pretty sure you read it yourself, right?
Yeah.
That was amazing. I love how he pitched it, and that was a great idea. Daniel Cormier is willing to be in WWE. It's his dream life goal to commentate or, to do an announcer. Obviously, his comments is, if you want me to be in the ring, first have me as a ring announcer. Have as a ring announcer. I can hype up these matches and put a great storytelling, and then have someone, try to put, kind of like a Jerry Lawler type of thing. How we saw like a Jerry Lawler Taz, that type of like style, like your
JBL and
JBL
Jericho.
type of commentating style like that too, like or Booker T as well like that. Like so, Daniel Cormier wants that type of storyline, and then for him to get to the ring, I loved his idea. I have respect for that man, even though in the octagon, it could be a little, to me, with Odie, to John Jones, okay? That's the only thing that I Odie bitched about him. Like, why are you bitching?
Yeah.
That's another story to tell. But your thoughts, Mr. Hero, that Cormier, WWE?
No, okay. So, I did not. Okay, when he came over from Strikeforce, I was like, okay, cool. You know, I liked his style, and he's one of the greats. I'm not taking that away from him.
Not at all.
You know, but I did feel like he kind of picked and chose who he fought, but that's for another story. But as far as this right here, he is a very good commentator. He does it on pay-per-views. You know, UFC trusts him to provide commentary on the big pay-per-views, and he does a great job on it. He's, you know, right there with Joe Rogan and the others. So by putting Daniel Cormier in the WWE as a commentator, maybe for NXT, you know, there was I know Wade Barrett is there now, but you know, this is a former 2-division champion. I'm sure they'll find a nice spot for him on the commentary team. So there you go, McMahon. You know, if you don't want to call us, call Daniel Cormier. He has some ideas.
Hell yeah.
You know, he gave you a great storyline that you could follow in such a specific way of how it would play out and what would happen. And records show, or as time has told, that UFC fighters have a good transition to pro wrestling. Odds are, right?
Yes.
I can't think of even Dan Severn. I think he did.
Dan
okay.
Severn, Ken Shamrock did great.
Shamrock. You know, the list goes on.
You know what? Minoru Suzuki as well, because Suzuki was also an MMA fighter.
Pancrase.
Yes, he was also Minoru Suzuki as well from Japan. I'm with you 100%. Even with Kane did not do bad in AAA.
Not at all.
Not at all. But
as a heavyweight, for him to be doing the luchador style,
yeah, fucking great. Kudos to that man. A lot of respect, and I hope AEW should pick him up. He's a fucking free agent. They should pick him up. That'll be another great one there too. Tony Khan, give us a call, man. Say habla español.
Sí.
Sí. And now obviously the final one as
Una de cabeza.
Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of like UFC type of style, which I want to go ahead and talk about the first rounds of the Ring of Honor Pure tournament. I loved how it looked, the style. It was, I don't know if you saw it yourself, Mike. I know Matt saw it, how they had both. I like how they did the hype for both competitors, like doing a story plot for them, doing a vignette for them, but like UFC MMA style. Great, I loved it. They give explaining about the background stories, how they became pro wrestlers, what they trained them, blah blah. Even though we know, but it's giving like a refreshing memory to the viewers, to the fans, and how they put the time. They put the 3 little bars. You know how the UFC has, the first 3 rounds, take one off. Oh. So those three were the ring ropes. So you only had 3 chances to have the ring ropes. After that, if you get one more, you're disqualified, or like you get a warning. So it's kind of like those 3 is like a warning type of thing. So that's what it was, and I loved it. And even the announcer saying the ref gave a warning to this, to Dalton,
There's a point system.
Yeah, exactly. Because the judges are judging. There's 3 judges right in the ring. I mean, right there across from the ring. So it's fucking amazing how they do it. I love their concept, even though we're no fans in attendance. Obviously, we saw Jay Lethal defeating Dr. Kelso in the first round with the lethal injection. That was a great match. And obviously, we saw Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus. I love that man. I think I'm going to keep an eye on him. I think he might win this tournament. I don't know. Versus Wheeler Yuta and in a crazy submission style, tap out. Like he injured his leg and then grabbed his ankle, grabbed pretty much his whole ankle, leg, and just slamming it on the ring until Yuta had a tap. I'm like, what the hell? And it's like a UFC type of style, pro wrestling. I loved it. So
cool.
And it's cool. I love it. So stay tuned with more of that on Ring of Honor, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, so far what you hear, Mike, what do you think? Do you think you're getting intrigued little by little bit? Or?
Yes, I am.
There you go.
Absolutely. It's very intriguing. Like I mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago, I believe, that, you know, just the idea of judges, just it could bring so many possibilities, because, you know, in mixed martial arts, not even just in UFC, but in mixed martial arts as a whole, there's this large idea that the judges screw up a lot of the decisions, and sometimes fights are seen in one way, but the judges judge it completely different. So this in pro wrestling, because it's predetermined, you are able to bring in an entire new storytelling tool, right?
Yeah.
It seems that we've seen it all in wrestling, but yet here we go. Here's a brand new idea, right? You know, right in front of us. And you know, the referees being able to take away points also, that right there it adds another layer, which I am all for it. And you know what, I'm definitely going to check this out because it sounds cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mr. Steamboat, what do you think? How do you like it so far?
It kind of brings up, like, I'll say the question. I'll say this first. It's basically like this title was meant for Zack Sabre Jr. Basically, this is.
But he's not even competing.
Yeah, I know he's not here, and especially because it's a kind of a shame because, like, we don't have the travel, because, like, there's like a travel ban, and, you know, he's got to go to England, then from Japan to the USA. So, but I mean, once that ban's over and he can travel freely again, I'd like to see him compete for this title, you know. But it kind of brings up another question, because, like, I think of, like, how a lot of promotions had a light heavyweight title or a cruiserweight title at one time, just because of the different weight divisions. But, like, now that because of wrestling, we get to see people small and big kind of compete against each other. But I think because of the way this is, what do you guys think of, like, every promotion having something similar to a pure title, where it has very strict kind of set rules to, you know, keep it in the ring, only 2 rope breaks, you know, pinfall submission, you
More
know,
traditional?
very specific. Yeah, that keeps matches more in, like, a traditional light. It still allows matches to be, you know, have, like, hardcore and no DQ and all that other stuff. But this is something that's, like, the opposite of no DQ. This is, like, very, you know, like seeing a belt like this defended in other promotions.
I would say that it fits more with the NXT than the main roster. It fits more with them, especially with NXT UK. And then, you know, because they're, you know, they have British strong style, a lot, and also a lot of grappling as well. And NXT too, especially when you have Thatcher. There's a lot of also other performers there in the roster that has that grappling, you know, Greco-Roman style. And this will fit perfectly for Chad Gable. This will fit for him, a great title picture for him as well. Matt Riddle as well too, to have a traditional, like, UFC, you know, traditional. You talking about traditional that we haven't seen since the pro wrestling era, like, woo, man, I could go. Maybe
it really is the pure title.
Maybe like Luz Dez era, like that, you know, shit like that. It was like, wow, that's a long time ago. But
by the way, I looked up who the youngest champion was. It's 21 years old though. I think it was somebody. It was one of the early guys. But yeah, you were saying, Mike?
No, I just want to say that I kind of want the entirely opposite. You know, if the UFC can have a BMF belt, why not pro wrestling? Instead of being called the hardcore championship, call it the baddest motherfucker championship. You know,
there you go.
If
we could have both. We could have both.
Wait a minute. I just wanted to say something right now, right quick. This is the second time that Mike actually cursed. I had to throw it out.
No, it's pretty rare for me to throw those words out there.
It's rare.
But that's the name of the actual title.
Yeah.
So, hey, I can get away with that one. So
you could, of course, obviously. But I'm with you 100%. Like, to do something like that, why not? Yeah, why not? It's just, it's because, you know, that's what I like about Ring of Honor, because they're able to pull that off, and obviously their relationship with New Japan is so close, and with CMML, I hope they're able to open their relationship more with AAA as well, and hopefully with AEW and maybe WWE in the long run, but not with WWE, but I see AEW. So we might see another type of, back in the old school territories. We're seeing it now so far with NWA and AEW. We've seen it already with AAA as well. We see with New Japan with but we'll have to wait and see, down the line in the future of how these type of championships can be defended in different territories. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Mr. Steamboat, so you mentioned one match is the remaining second round. You said it was Matt Sydal versus Delirious. I believe there's another one too. I'm not sure if you could look it up for me right quick, Matt. There's another pure title, a pure tournament. I believe it's coming up this weekend. There's another one. There's two matches. I'm trying to recall who's the other ones. But
I'll read them off real quickly though. The upcoming ones. So there's Delirious versus Matt Sydal. There's Tracy Williams versus Russ Taylor. Silas Young versus Fred Yehi. Yeah. David Finley versus Rocky Romero. That's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that one.
I'm excited for that one. That one's the teacher versus the student versus the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rocky Romero is the teacher and David Finley is the student. So that's going to be a great match. He was a young
lion alongside Jay White.
Yes.
So
that's right, definitely.
PJ Black versus Tony Deppen. PJ Black's very interesting. Like, he's got an interesting look. And I felt like I haven't been watching enough PJ Black, because he's a very interesting character,
I mean, he changed his gimmick from, being a Nexus, Justin Guerrero, now went to kind of like I don't know, he kind of reminds me of like a lone wolf type of style. Even when he was in Lucha Underground, the same thing. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Keep on, looking up the ROH Pure Title Tournament, and we'll be covering
Josh Woods versus Kenny King.
There you go. That was another one, good one too. I'm looking forward. Stay tuned with that, with more Ring of Honor and their website and their YouTube channel to catch the highlights. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. As we come back, we'll go ahead and discuss not all the matches from G1 Climax. We'll announce the upcoming ones for this weekend that are coming up. That we'll announce those, and then we'll go ahead and jump onto NXT and AEW Dynamite. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages from El Capitan. So ahorita regresamos. We'll get back.
Fucking monkeys. What the fuck? Fuck in the beer. Circle of debate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast. We want to go ahead and thank El Capitan. Wherever you are. You're always missing, man. I have no idea. Where are you? We'll see you soon. All righty. So let's go ahead and start it off, ladies and gentlemen, with the New Japan. The G1 Climax, obviously, since this is pre-recorded, obviously going to be, happening tonight or, in the morning, obviously, on Japan's time. So we have Block A. So for the first rounds, we're going to have Okada versus Kota Ibushi. We're going to have Shingo versus Jay White. Tomohiro Ishii versus Suzuki. That's going to be another brawl for all right there to see. Jeff Cobb versus Taichi. I think Taichi's in trouble on this one. Ospreay versus Yujiro Takahashi. And that's for the September 19th, Block A's first rounds. Block B is on the 20th of September, which we'll have, Zack Zombie versus Evil. We also going to have Hiroki Goto versus Kenta. And also we're going to have Toru Yano versus Sanada. And also we're going to have the return of Juice Robinson versus Yoshihashi. So stay tuned for that for more as we'll provide you updates. But Mr. Steve, I'll ask you your thoughts about these two blocks. These two first rounds, happening pretty much tonight and tomorrow, the 20th. What are your thoughts?
It'll be cool to see that rematch of Kenta versus Goto, We're gonna get to see, you know, Tanahashi and Naito. It's been really like funny and kind of awesome how Toru Yano's been stealing these wins. I feel like he's. I'm gonna laugh all the way to the bank if he either gets to the finals of the G1 or if he just like they just give his character like a 360 turn, because like he beat Okada at the Summer Struggle match at that stadium. So like I don't know, they're just throwing Yano these wins out of nowhere, and then you know, Shingo Takagi versus Jay White. That's gonna be cool to see. You know, Ishii, Suzuki, Jeff Cobb. Once again, we got the pure guys, so you know we got a lot to look forward to in coming days. And then Will Ospreay's return. We get to see him again.
Man, I cannot wait.
Heavyweight Ospreay. You know,
that's my pick for this G1. I'm picking Will Ospreay to take it, man. I need Will. I think it's about his time to take this G1 Climax tournament. It's about damn time. It's either him or Sonata. I want Sonata because I'm tired of Sonata being pushed behind, not being looked at. He put on great matches, even in a tag team with Evo when Evo was with LIJ. But it's about time that we see Sonata up in those ranks, and also Will Ospreay. I would love to see them in the finals. And
why not Kenta?
Okay, Kenta too. Kenta too.
Kenta might become U.S. champion in the coming days. So
That's
whenever
right.
they schedule that match, so he's got that to deal with. He's got Moxley in his gun sights at the moment.
So I'm looking forward to
it is the Bullet Club. They got 2 bullets.
Yep. So we have to wait and see what's going to happen with that as well. Because they haven't announced when would that happen when Moxley defends the United States IWGP Championship against Kenta. So we're looking forward to that. So stay tuned on New Japan World, and also stay tuned. We'll provide you more updates and the results. If in case you don't catch it, we'll give you the results, and we'll give you the next upcoming matches on a weekly basis. So stay tuned.
Former X Division champion Sonata. He was the first intermediate Pro Wrestling Noah champion, Sonata. Completely different guy back then, but he was different guy, but same guy. You know.
Yeah. So wait, who do you pick all the way? Who's your 2 that you will pick?
I'm actually leaning towards Sonata, but I like Ospreay too, though. You know? So we could go a lot of ways. It'd be crazy if it was Suzuki, though. But I mean, like, he's a vet already. He had his heyday, but who knows? He could pull it out. You know, he's pretty well protected.
The sleeper one will be for me is Taichi. I think Taichi's a sleeper one as well. I think if you keep an eye on him, he might be the sleeper one. I think it's maybe his time too, because the way
paid his dues. Like he was I remember when he was a young lion. He was probably one of the most distinctive looking young lions. If you see him like standing by the ring for some Tanahashi's matches, you know, you notice him right away. He's like, they say that about Aquariuses. You can pick them out of the crowd. They just like, you know, when you see them walking, and he kind of has. That's what Taichi has about him. That kind of that Aquarius energy, where you just see him in the crowd and like, that's Taichi. That's the guy. He's gonna be something. So you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's going to mean something in this tournament. So stay tuned once again, ladies and gentlemen. And also stay tuned for also New Japan Strong Style United States, as they're also going to have, for the first time in the United States, they're going to have their 8-man tournament, which is for their young lions, which is they announced as a Lion Break Crown tournament. Obviously, they have all their young lions competing on that. And also one of them that caught my attention is Adrian Quest is actually competing in that tournament. So I'm looking forward to see Adrian Quest on that tournament as well. So there's so many others that I cannot mention because I don't know all of them. They're all young lions that I'm barely getting to know little by little. And so stay tuned.
All the different gyms.
Yeah, they're all different gyms, all different dojos in New Japan, especially here in California. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and move on to NXT. We saw what happened this past week. Great opening match between Io Shirai versus Shotzi Blackheart. I think that was a great performance for both sides. I like how Shotzi, man, how she looked in the ring against Io, and I love how Io sold it as well. Especially those German suplexes from the ring apron, inside the ring apron, and then Shotzi doing the Daniel Bryanson old school move, the American Dragon, the Kato mutilation. Oh, I love that move. I love it. And I'm glad that she's using it more rarely and is becoming more exposed in WWE. especially in NXT. So, Mr. Steamboat, I'll ask you what were your thoughts about that great opening match, and where you see, and do you see now Shotzi being pushed more higher up, and what do you see about her future in NXT?
I'm a big Shotzi proponent. I think some of it's a little bit like, felt kinship. I'm also Filipino. She's Filipino, I think even on her Instagram it says the filthy Filipino, Shotzi Blackheart, So, I like Tanks too. Tanks are awesome. And she's got a very distinctive look, I wonder if like me and her grew up together, we'd be playing with the same G.I. Joe tanks together, at the same Filipino household party. We'll be there, like our aunts, our titas, and titos will be hanging out by the table, playing poker with my dad, and then we'll be playing with tanks down the floor if we grew up together. But Shotzi, if you're watching, a cup of Bayan pride, much support to you. Raise up, you got it, girl.
That's right. Mr. Hero, your thoughts about Shotzi Blackheart, her future at NXT, and what do you like so far, what you see, and do you see her a future champ?
Yeah, I recently saw the first episode of Tough Enough, the one where she was on, and I didn't know it was her.
I didn't know that either.
Really?
Yeah, and so she was this close to being eliminated. She was at the very end. They had her and somebody else, and they ended up eliminating the other person. And they asked her like, "Oh, why should you stay?" And she gave this speech, very heartfelt speech about why she wanted to be a professional wrestler. So seeing from that to where she is now, it's definitely a great thing to see. Excuse me. But yeah, I think she has a good look. I did not know she was Filipino. I like Filipino people because I live kind of close to a few over here, and they're very nice people. And of course, Matt, and the food, Jollibee. My goodness,
that's my favorite. Fried chicken.
Awesome.
Fried chicken.
Order your milkfish fillets, guys. Get those milkfish.
I still have yet to try that one.
Fried chicken is the best from Jollibee.
Oh,
with the gravy,
spicy.
with the spicy one, with the gravy and the rice. Oh my God,
Jollibee, we're looking for sponsors.
Hey, no, right?
Hey. They just bought the coffee bean and tea leaf. They own them now.
Wow.
Wow.
Jollibee bought the coffee bean and tea leaf, so it could be either Jollibee or coffee. We could get both in one. We got 2-in-1 with that. Jollibee, if you're watching,
Excellent. And don't forget the dessert. I love
the mango pie.
That and the ice cream. Matt, what's the name of it?
Halo.
Halo. I love that.
I haven't had that yet.
Oh my God, it's so good. I love it.
But all in all, the Filipino flavor is on the rise, and it's definitely seen in WWE with Shotzi, and she has everything going for her. So future champion, why not? Make it happen.
Definitely, 100%. Agree with you. Before we move on, Lechon too. The Lechon are, oh my God.
There you go.
If you've ever been with a Filipino family gathering, I have, because I work for one. Brass Monkey. There you go. Okay. There you go. So moving on. Let's go ahead and then we finally, now for the number one contendership for the NXT Women's Championship was announced next Wednesday. There will be a battle royal. The winner will face Io Shirai at NXT TakeOver, which was announced October the 4th. We do not know the location yet. Most likely it's going to be at the Performance Center. So we're looking forward to that. I don't know who's going to win that one, but I'm going to say it right now. I think the next one will be on top. It's going to be either Candice LeRae or Shia Lee. So I'm going to go with you, Mr. Hero. Be a pick on this one to win it. It's basically all the women's roster, the NXT women's roster. Who do you see next? Who do you see?
Is Dakota Kai in it?
Yes.
For whatever reason, she stands out to me. But Candice LeRae is a good pick too. I feel like you can't go wrong with Candice. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. So I'll definitely be tuning in to see who ends up winning.
That's right. Mr. Steamboat, who's your pick?
Candice LeRae is a longtime veteran. Jia Lee, I follow her on Instagram, and she's making a lot of stuff happen. You know, she's got a very unique move set. I got Dakota Kai. You know, New Zealand. Like any excuse for to see as much of New Zealand as possible. Like if Dakota Kai gets this, hopefully we get some more tours of New Zealand as like little backstory videos and stuff like that. Because you know I'm a New Zealand fanboy. That's like one of my favorite countries. You know, that's like in my top 3 favorite countries of all time is New Zealand. So
I see. I mean, the reason why I picked Xia Li because obviously Xia Li, excuse me, because we saw that there's a heel turn coming. You know, we might see that.
cool.
It'll be cool, and I think it's about time. Was speaking to Catherine. Catherine, hi. You know, I know from the UK. You've been watching our episodes, and we appreciate you. We do. Don't forget the description below. We promoted your blogs as well. Her blogs, the links are right below. Follow her as well. You know, read her blog. You know, she is very updated with the women's division all over the promotions. She's up to date. So follow her, ladies and gentlemen, and check on the website as well. We had a debate, her and I, about, you know, we both agreed. Xia Li, excuse me, becoming a heel. Why not? It's about time. I think she's been a jobber for a quick minute, for a good minute. I think it's about time for her to get her shine in NXT and have her feud with Io Shirai. Why not? 2 best friends that, you know, they're roommates. Well, no, not anymore, but they were roommates. They started together, and I guess they were in that class. So why not to see Xia Li as well? That's my other second pick. So we'll wait and see. So stay tuned for next Wednesday for that Battle Royal. And also stay tuned as Mr. Regal announced it, the #1 contendership for the NXT Championship versus Finn, the winner, and which is a gauntlet eliminator match, which will determine the #1 contender. And will face Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver October the 4th. I guess it starts with 2 minutes in the ring. I think every 2 to 4 minutes another competitor comes. So it's like get pinned. I don't think there's over the top. That's not a battle royal. It's a pin or submission. Gets eliminated to the last man standing, wins. And we don't know the competitors yet. So far, we don't know Kushida's won. So we'll see who the rest of the competitors will be revealed throughout the week. So stay tuned for that as well. And we saw the Breezango and Imperium, you know, tag team title defense. Another great match. I'm loving the fact to see Breezango are pushing their limits, their skill set in the ring, and I'm looking forward, you know, for them being champs for quite some time, and hopefully, you know, they help to build that tag team division. And so I'll ask you, Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about the match. Do you feel Breezango is the right team to push, you know, those tag team titles and to push the tag team division? Can't hear you, buddy. There you go.
Oh. When you get like a baby face, you know, it's they took the titles off of
Imperium.
Who they take?
Imperium.
Yeah, Imperium. Especially like menacing, menacing villains like Imperium. When you get a baby face like them to come up, it's you know, it's kind of giving new energy to a belt. You know, but I mean, I'm wondering if they're going with this kind of classic style of booking where like baby faces only hold titles for a short period of time. So, you know, they could be doing something like that, or, you know, like baby faces holding the title for a long period of time means like, you know, they got a lot of trust and love in you. So who knows? We just gotta see how this reign goes for them, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Hero, do you feel that Breezango are the right team to push the tag team division and to them holding titles for a long time?
It doesn't feel that way to me. It feels like, I mean, no offense to them, you know, they've been in the business for a long time, but it does feel like they're a transitional champion. You know, they took the titles off of Imperium. I don't think that they're going to lose them, not yet, but I'm curious to see who will take them away from them. But hey, I could be wrong. You know, maybe they are being put in that spot that, like how Matt was saying, you know, the babyface team that's going to have the titles for a while and help shape up the tag division. Because I'm sure, especially for NXT, seeing how awesome the tag team division is in AEW, their direct competition. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going to want to really step up their game as far as the tag teams. It's, you know, so Is Breezango the team? In my opinion, no. But we'll see who is.
Yeah, there's more to come. We still haven't seen much tag teams up there, besides Imperium, and I'm not sure what other tag teams. I don't really an undisputed era. I mean, there's still a lot more out there that we haven't seen yet on NXT television. We haven't seen them yet. So we're looking forward to see the upcoming feuds for Brazango and see who's going to take the belts. Like you said, are they the number one? I feel for me they are, because I think it's about time, and obviously that gimmick. They should push away from the gimmick a little bit and take it more seriously in the ring, and make a statement of why you deserve to have those tag team belts. Instead of bringing, they want to bring the fashion files to on SmackDown. I'm like, nah, man, that's SmackDown. You're not back to NXT, where the foundation, where you need to make this title be prestige and take it serious. I mean, yeah, of course, a little comedy doesn't hurt, but also take it serious in the ring. I hope they do. So we'll wait and see. Moving on with the main event, obviously the North American Championship was defended by Damian Priest versus Timothy Thatcher. Now, that was a match that I enjoyed, and hell of a performance for both gentlemen. I love the fact how Damian Priest hit that spinning heel kick off the third top, slinging off from the third top rope. Oh, my God. A great match, both sides. I enjoyed it very much. It gave a lot of storytelling in the ring. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, your thoughts about the main event, and where do you see Damian Priest's future as North American champ?
Yeah, Damian Priest is definitely cementing himself as one of the more memorable North American champions, and I feel that title really needs that. You know, the match itself was definitely I enjoyed it, and I definitely think it was worth of the main event spot, and especially with what was happening on the other side with AEW. And I always use those two comparisons because both companies are competing. So what they had going on, what AEW had going on was cool. So definitely, what NXT had as main event had to deliver, and it did. Damian Priest, I can definitely say, is one of the guys that is going to take NXT into the future, and is going to set the tone for talent coming up.
Definitely, 100% with you, Mr. Steamboat. Your thoughts about the main event?
I love seeing guys who have like really cool choke slams in their arsenal, like Damian Priest, and I gotta say he's got a really cool look. So I'll have to agree with Mike. It's making, when you have cool guys holding the title, it makes the title look better, and that's probably one of my more liked belts out of the WWE lineup, because it looks like a championship belt from like the 80s or the 70s, and it has that prestigious look to it. So if anything, that looks like a world championship to me, the design of that North American title. So.
Oh, yeah, agreed. Because I think it's about time, and he deserves the spotlight for him, especially he paid his dues at Ring of Honor as Punishment Martinez. He was a former television champion in Ring of Honor, and it's about damn time that he deserves a spotlight. And I'm a big fan of his work, and him being a tall man, a big guy, and for him to do those type of high flying moves, and like a cruiserweight would do. Fucking amazing. I love it, and then Thatcher being a ground specialist, like he had two different styles, but this match for some odd reason it told the story like a high flyer versus a grappler, and it was so fucking amazing, and especially how Damian sold it in the ground for Thatcher, and I like how Thatcher sold it for him too. So I'm looking forward to this feud, if they continue it, or even Thatcher too. Kudos to him. I love him as well, and hopefully he becomes a future champion one day too. But I know obviously it's too soon, so little by little. So let's go ahead and move on with that, ladies and gentlemen, to the next Wednesday Night War, which will be AEW Dynamite. Opening match: FTR defending the AEW Tag Team Champions versus Jurassic Express. Obviously, the ending of the match was your old school fashion cheating style, from FTR, and but Jurassic Express did look great in this match. So I'll ask you, Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about that opening match. Did you enjoy it? Where do you see this going now with FTR, and with who's going to be the next one in line for them to face for the AEW Tag Team Champions?
I think that the question that's answered for that question, I mean, what's answered for that question happened at the very beginning of that match. We saw the Young Bucks come in, kick the ref, and it was like, here you go, Tony Khan, here's the penalty money. We just keep them coming. We'll just give you the whole paycheck. And they're really, the elite's building their mean streak. And then you can see backstage FTR is teasing them. It's like, oh, is the elite hurt? Like they're teasing them a little bit just to build up their heel side. So we're going to kind of see like tweener versus heel coming up, like tweener like Young Bucks versus, heel FTR pretty much. And FDR is really like cementing their place as heels. And we get to see more build up for, for Jurassic Express going on. So they're building that up more. So we got that going on.
All right. Mr. Hero, your thoughts about the opening match and that segment?
Yeah, I always enjoy watching Jurassic Express. FTR and the Young Bucks is going to happen. And the interesting part of this is that we've said that, maybe they were waiting for a crowd to come back for that rivalry to happen or for that match to happen. And the crowd is there. There is a crowd of people there that bought their ticket, went into the arena and are watching this. Now, in that, I do think that whoever gets to see that match first, the first time ever FTR versus the Bucks, is going to be such a small group of people compared to what it could have been, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But that small group of people are going to be able to say, I was there. And for it being a smaller group, that is going to have that value of I was there to see the Bucks versus FTR for the first time. And as for the whole the tweener and heel thing, I'm all for it. I if done right, of course, I always enjoy not necessarily babyface versus heel, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit of gray area in there as far as storytelling. Nowadays, if you find yourself being able to get an advantage on someone, on a competitor, you're gonna take it. And I feel that the Young Bucks see that and know that, and are able to put that into their storytelling. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of this develops leading up to their match, So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it too. With the Young Bucks doing, causing all that commotion. Yeah, I'm both with you. I agree with both of you guys, and we got to, like I said it in the archives. I said it, Full Gear. It might happen in Full Gear. You never know. Or I don't know. It's really difficult to see when this is going to happen. But it should happen
forever.
They can't. They can't do this. They can't because you're teasing the crowd too much. They're gonna be fed up. They're gonna be like, "The hell with this! You're not giving me the match that I want to see." Yeah. I'm like, no, you have.
They can't pull a Hogan Flair like in '90. What was it? WWF in '92, or what was it? Well, when was that supposed to happen?
It was supposed to happen WrestleMania 8.
WrestleMania 8. Like they don't want to pull that. I can tell.
Yeah.
They want to give us that match despite with or without the crowds.
Right.
And it was like, you guys got to wait another 4 or 5 months for it, and
it makes no sense for that to happen.
Exactly.
It doesn't. It doesn't make no sense. But moving on with that, also we saw Private Party versus Jericho and Jake Hager. I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna start it off. I mean, Hager and Jericho, they made Private Party look good in this match. I actually enjoyed how they really sold it for them, big time. Wasn't the best moves that they, but they sold it very clean. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in the picture in the tag team, title picture, Jericho and Hager. So, and also I'm hoping that this match pushed Private Party a little bit more as well. I'm hoping it did, and I think I'm not speaking for the fans, but for me, I would say it did, and I'm hoping for the fans it did as well. So, Mr. Hero, I'll ask you: you think that leveled Private Party's up a notch, or do you feel like it wasn't really the best one so far for them?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's match of the year,
right?
But it was a decent match, and it did what it needed. It brought Jericho and Hager into the tag division in a more serious way. Private Party. I remember the first time I saw Private Party doing a match. I really enjoyed their match, and they stood out to me a lot because of how the young they are and their abilities in the ring. And it goes back to the whole tag team, how stacked this tag team division is. That teams like Jurassic Express and Private Party are not the top contenders, but yet they are great tag teams. So it just speaks volumes as to how stacked the division is. And for Jericho and Hager, I think what I see them doing down the line is putting or kind of rubbing the shine off of them to other teams, like how they did this past Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about Private Party?
Like, you gotta keep in mind that both Jake Hager and Jericho are former world champions. You got a newer tag team getting in so much offense against two former world champions as a tag team. It's kind of like Triple H and Stone Cold. That like when you think of a tag team made up of former champions, how big these and experienced these two guys are. Or name any other two. Like, if you make a tag team made up of two other world champions, I mean, like, when you have them up against people who are rookies by comparison, I know Private Party, they definitely have like their background experience. They're just not as much as their opponents. So it's really cool seeing them get built up with this and made really look good in this match.
Oh,
so.
Definitely him taking that Judas effect, and he saw his hand was just like twitching. Oh my god, that Judas effect looked nasty. Jericho, you gotta change the fucking move, man. I'm sorry, it's not effective. It's just not. I don't get it. I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I love you, Jericho, but
Code Breaker and the Lions.
I mean, the Code Breaker is not even a finisher anymore. But can't even. Or what about
the Lion Salt?
Okay, I don't know if he can do it. I don't know if he can. I mean, he can still do it.
4 of them against Kenny, like at Double or Nothing. I saw him do 3 in a row.
No, yeah, he did. Or even do the fucking scroll crushing finale, but he was the original that came up with it, not the Miz. That one. But shit,
back. Let him use it under a different name.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I just had the Judas effect. Like, what the back spinning elbow? Like,
maybe the Painmaker finale or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm looking forward, and good job. And also, and moving on with that, another kudos. I love AEW. See, this is another great Wednesday Night Wars for both sides. I'm not gonna choose because I love both of these 2 nights that had happened. They both did a wonderful job. So I want to continue with AEW though. The women's, the NWA championship being defended, Thunder Rosa versus Eva Lee's. That was another great match. I love how they both put it. Thunder Rosa, man, she has a lot of credentials to this woman. She's from Tijuana, Mexico, obviously, and she competed all over the world. I believe Excalibur. You know what? That's what you remind me of. You know what, Mr. Stevo? You're the Excalibur of this podcast as well.
I can't pronounce Spanish as well as he can, though.
I
wish I was. I'm not.
You know her, but you know her credentials. See, her championship. So I'll ask you, what were your thoughts about this match, and did you enjoy it? And by far, one of the best. I mean, in the women's division so far. And should they, fully sign Thunder Rosa to AEW? So let me ask you that.
I think fully signing might kind of conflict with I don't know how these contracts work with both NWA and AEW, and like how well Billy Corgan and Tony Khan get along with each other, because that's like one of the things, or how much of a Smashing Pumpkins fan, because somewhat, sorry, this is a little bit off the beaten path, but the Smashing Pumpkins signed to the same record signed to Sumerian Records, and the CEO of Sumerian Records is a huge wrestling fan, and he put like some people that are on AEW's roster in his movie that he produced. So it's just, it's just like all these different moving parts just to see, because it's not WWE where everything's all cut and dry.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
like, I guess it's like depending on the wrestler. Like, does Thunder Rosa want to do more of these shows? She's amazing. She had a great match. I love her moveset. It was like a Pendulum Romero special that she was doing on Sheeta. Like, not like she had her like upside down, knocking her face into the turnbuckle, and it was like, I've never seen a submission like that, and that looked
It's
cool.
been a long time. We haven't seen that.
Yeah,
But I mean, but with her and Ivelisse, and obviously we did see, Sheeta, go saving her. Hikaru Shiva, saving her
yeah.
after the match. So we're gonna see a tag team match next week. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing that. Mr. Hero, your thoughts about the match?
They announced the tag team match already.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
All right. Well, I mentioned because I wrote an article on circleofdebate.com
There you go, ladies and
about
gentlemen.
reviewing All Out, and I mentioned about Thunder Rosa that she was the kick in the butt that the women's division needed, and this just goes to show, she's been having pretty good matches in at All Out and here on Dynamite. So definitely, I see that maybe she is what the division needed to kind of get itself together and move up. So who's in the tag team match for next week
It's gonna be Ivelisse and Diamante versus
versus Sheeta
and Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa? Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a good match, and yeah. So I look forward to seeing what happens next.
Definitely. And also next week, what's going to happen as well will be the 6-man tag, which is Moxley teaming up with Will Hobbs, who just recently signed with AEW full time. Congratulations to Hobbs. And Darby Allin versus obviously Lance Archer, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks. I believe you saw that segment. So I mean, what do you guys see the future for Will Hobbs now that he's signed with AEW? What are your thoughts, Mr. Hero, about Mr. Hobbs? What do you see the future for him in AEW?
I'm not too familiar with him. I haven't seen him wrestle, but I have noticed that AEW has been doing a lot of signings lately, and which is great. A few months ago we were thinking, how is this pandemic going to affect the roster? Will they be bringing more people in? Will they be letting some people go? It seems that they're able to bring people in, and it's great because it gives people more jobs, and it allows for more storylines, different storylines to happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know this person and seeing what they have in the ring.
Well, you can catch him on AEW Dark because he's been having his matches there recently. He's on AEW Darks. He's been having squash matches, but he looks good. The kid looks good. Like I think they're trying to build their own Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's not a Brock Lesnar, but I mean, I'm saying like the size. They're trying to build their own talent. So I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Will Hobbs be put up there soon. I mean, he's being up there right now, so quick, so soon. Like shit. All right, you're teaming with Moxley and Darby Allin. Oh shit, that's a good move for you. So I mean, unless he turns heel on him, I'm calling it first. He turns heel on Moxley and Darby Allin. You never know. But Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about Will Hobbs' future in AEW, and what do you think?
The majority of the big guys in AEW are all heels at the moment. So like if they turn Hobbs heel, maybe they gotta flip another big guy face somewhere in the lineup because it's too, their whole big guy division, big muscle dudes are mostly like heels. Maybe Wardlow, they could flip him face. What with the tension with him and MJF going on. There's a few things they could do, but like most of the big guys are kind of stuck in rivalries with baby faces. So like we kind of need that big guy baby face right now. The big, big, huge, because all the big, huge dudes are mostly bad guys. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the only one is Luchasaurus. He's the only big guy who's a baby face, but I mean, everybody else, yeah, you're right, it's a heel. So yeah, they do need more baby faces on the big man's side than having him as heel. And Wardlow, I haven't seen him do much. Like they need to start using him a little bit more. So yeah, and then Lance Archer, of course, he's a heel. He's bad. He's a badass heel, anyways. I love him. Brian Cage, he could have been a baby face, but I mean, I like this, team with him and Ricky Starks. I like it. It's not a bad team. Not a bad tag team, but I'm glad he has a mouthpiece because Brian Cage. I mean, I love you, Brian Cage, because I've been seeing your ass as bar wrestling, in the other independent circuits. But yeah, your mic skills is not there yet, buddy. You've got a lot more to work on that. So yeah, I agree with 100%.
Eddie Kingston's promo class.
Yes, Eddie Kingston promo class. Oh my God, that guy is something else.
Chocolate chip cookie.
And also, just wanted to mention this reason why I'm saving this before I go to the main event. Why I'm saving this one because I want to get you guys, thoughts about it. We did see the Hangman and versus Adam Page versus Frank Kazarian. That was another great match. Both sides, Kazarian's a veteran. I'm glad he stayed in AEW and did not go to WWE because, he's one of the originators as well from the TNA back in the days. So I'm glad he's still there. And he put a phenomenal match with Adam Page. I loved it. We saw Kenny Omega commentating. So Mr. Hero, where do we see this going? Are we going to see Adam Page versus Kenny Omega? Are we going to see the cleaner finally coming out? I mean, your thoughts about the match and that tease between Adam Page and Kenny Omega.
You know what? I definitely see Adam Page versus Kenny Omega being the target match there. I think the whole the cleaner persona is going to come full circle when that match happens or right before it. The match itself, yeah, I mean, I like Adam Page. He actually kind of reminds me of JBL.
Yeah.
Like a younger version, so I enjoy his matches. I think I find it interesting that he was in the first AEW championship match, and since then nothing. He hasn't gotten another shot or hasn't come close to it. So okay, he's gonna have this rivalry with Omega, but after that, I would like to see him in the world title picture. I think he has the potential to do it, and yeah, so as a heel or a face,
or in the TNT, Brody Lee. I want to see.
Sure.
I want to see him in Brody Lee. That's what I want to see. I would like to see that match too. So yeah, Mr. Steamboat, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Cleaner, the cleaner.
No, I gotta say that, I said when I first saw the Hangman's new ring gear with the pants and everything, and I'm glad he's sticking with those, because those pants look so cool. Just cool looking ring gear is also like the aesthetic of a wrestler plays a big point with me. So if they go, it seems likely they are gonna go with the Hangman Page versus Omega thing. If they go about with it, I want to see some blood.
Yeah.
you might get your wish.
You might get your wish.
Halfway with it. I want to see some color.
Yeah. I think we all want to see some color on that. And
yeah. I don't want them to do a half-ass feud just for the sake of having a feud. It's like when they talked about Dustin and Cody, I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of it because I'm like, okay, it's my brother, it's logical, we're gonna fight each other. But then they got 6 stars, and then they bled everywhere, and then it was the moment.
There's your fucking 6 stars, Mr. fucking Dave Meltzer. There you are. Take your 6 stars and shove it up your fucking nose.
Oh yeah, and for Page's
and Alvarez, Alvarez too.
For Ronnie Rapp from Falling in Reverse. This is my personal one.
There you go. And so let's move on to the main event, the parking lot brawl between Best Friends and Santana and Ortiz. Man, when is the last time we seen the parking lot brawl? Like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Eddie Guerrero, John Cena. Was that the last one we saw? Or there was one before that?
There was another.
There's a very recent one with what was it?
Was it Moxley one?
No, it was from NXT.
Oh yeah,
Velveteen and Adam Cole.
Versus Adam Cole.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because it was a ring. I'm talking about no ring and actual card on cards. So I think the only one
by
is
that criteria. Yes,
he did fight on cards.
Guerrero and
John Cena, right? I think I love that. But I did enjoy this one. What a hell of a main event. on both sides with Santana Ortiz and best friends Chuck and Trent. Wow. Suplexes, broken mirrors. Oh my God. Woo. I was
Orange
like,
Cassidy with the chain wrapped around his fist.
yes, the orange punch.
Yes.
That's a big clown on Roman Reigns. I'm saying that right now. I mean, obviously, I didn't never mention it, because I didn't want disregard it. But now that I'm looking at it more, I'm like, you're really clowning the shit out of Roman Reigns, like of Orange Punch. Like, all right. Obviously, we saw the upset. Best friends to won with that pile driver not on that 2x4 and on the hood of the truck. Oh my God, that shit. But Trent's back. Wow. And then obviously the best part though when the mom came pick him up. Hi, honey, how was it? And giving him there you go, bye. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Best match overall right now for AEW?
Yes. If not in the top 3 for sure. It just goes to show the depth of this roster and the talent in this roster, and more importantly, the freedom that the roster has to be able to take these kind of matches and do them to their limit, and beyond, because there was many spots that I was like, wow, well, okay, well, this is it. No, here we go. It keeps going. And they came up with even better stuff. So, I actually did not think Orange Cassidy was going to get involved, but I'm glad he did, I'm glad that he came out of the trunk and, wrapped in the chain in his fist and whatnot. So it was cool. Definitely a worthy main event. And I really do feel like that's what the best friends needed, to kind of bring them up. I know that some people have their gripe against the best friends or think that their gimmick is not the best, but but they definitely bring it in the ring and out of the ring apparently. So yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. Good shit. Matt Steamboat, your thoughts?
I gotta say, we get to see a little bit more of the vicious side of best friends. In addition to that, how brutal Orange Cassidy can really be. Like a chain wrapped around the fist isn't, that's not being nice, That's straight up brutality. We get to see the rough side of him. And and then I'll mention it again, the mom flicking him off, that was the cherry on the cake.
I love it.
That's the ultimate way to own it, with the van. I want that to be the continue, because they have one t-shirt of them in the van that's for sale on the AEW site. So I want them to have another one where it's the mom flicking them off and driving away. But I gotta say this about Orange Cassidy though, because I think I said it on another episode that I think Orange Cassidy is the United States North American equivalent of Tetsuya Naito, especially after his feud with because he had a 3-match feud with Chris Jericho, and he bled Chris Jericho and went the limit with him. He defeated Chris Jericho.
He beat Chris Jericho, yeah.
Beat Chris Jericho. Naito had a bloody feud with Chris Jericho in New Japan. That's kind of why I see them as an equivalent. So I'm gonna make a prediction right here, right now.
Uh-oh. You're gonna hear first.
You're first. There's going to be a really solid match between Cleaner Kenny Omega and Orange Cassidy in the future. And it's going to rival that G1 Climax match with Naito and Kenny Omega. It's going to be those two. Those two are going to have a pretty good one in the future because, like I see parallels between Naito and Cassidy. The people relate to Naito the same way people relate to Cassidy. The crowds love them the same way because, Naito's the everyman, but at the same time he's laid back and unique. Orange Cassidy's like the everyman. He's laid back and unique and represents the working guy. So, you're going to see that match. Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega. That's going to be the Naito Omega of the United States of AEW.
The cleaner Omega versus the cool laid back Orange Cassidy. And also, speaking of Orange Cassidy, he's going to be getting a shot at the TNT Championship versus Brother Lee next week as well. So that's not looking good for Mr. Cassidy right there. I don't know.
I kind of hope they let him look good. I hope they let him look good.
I don't think it'll look good for the Dark Order. It won't look good. I don't think so. I do not think so. And also speaking of tag teams, and I forgot to bring up something else too, that we forgot about Authors of Pain were released for WWE. So, they were the former messiahs for Seth Rollins. Do you see them going to AEW? Do you see them going? Or do you see them in New Japan? Authors of Pain. So here I'll go with you. What do you think about Authors of Pain, first of all?
I didn't really get to see a lot of them in WWE, but hey, AEW is the place to be for tag teams. So,
yeah, that's right.
Head over there.
Yeah. Mr. Steamboat, what do you think about Authors of Pain? Going to AEW.
I think I'm gonna get a little bit back to like what I was talking about with like NWA and AEW, and I'll include Authors of Pain in this. So tag teams are the places to go. AEW has a lot of tag teams right now, but only one set of belts to challenge for at the moment.
Mm.
So the women's style, they brought in the NWA Women's Champion. So the current NWA champions, tag team champions are Eli Drake
and James Storm.
Mm-hmm. So there's this chance we could see those two more likely than we'll see Nick Aldis or Aaron Stevens. And then the TV title is currently vacated, so it's more likely we're going to see those two maybe come into the picture just to add more landscape, more things for the tag team division to do, because there's so many of them. And if we add Authors of Pain to that mix, we're gonna have so many tag teams. Like I don't think there's I'd say there's more tag teams than I can fit on my head. Like
there's a lot, man. You gotta use your 10 fingers, so you gotta use your toes too, man. It's like there's so many.
And maybe so like 15 tag teams in AEW right now. We gotta count them all off or something like that.
Shit, wow, I mean, that's a long start. Private Party, Butcher and Blade, the Lucha Brothers, SCU, the Young Bucks, FTR, Jericho and Hager, Dark Order, which is Stu Grayson and Evo Uno. You have Santana Ortiz.
National Nightmares.
The National Nightmare, the National Nightmares, and you still have Jurassic Express. You still have Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. That's 12.
That's already more than 10.
That's more than 10. They have a lot of great tag team that they're able to offer.
And only one set of belts for them to challenge for.
Yeah.
And while they're in talks with the NWA, they're gonna need something for the other tag teams to do in the meantime.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think this is a great relationship for both, because I'm pretty sure that Billy Corgan wants to have a relationship with Tony Khan. You never know. Maybe he can have an outdoor event for NWA at the Daily Palace. They could do that too. I mean, we never know. I'm hoping that these territories gets along very well, especially with New Japan and Ring of Honors, and Triple A and CMLL. Hopefully they all come together and trade off talent and make professional wrestling great again with different talent and pre-matches we'd like to see.
I need to make that happen.
Yeah, Penta. What was it? Did we already see Lucha Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many, man. There's so many tag teams.
And there's still more. The Gun Club,
that's 13. That's 13. Yeah.
Well,
so
there's still more that we forgot. So there's probably at least 3 or 4 more we forgot. So.
There's about 3 or 4 more that are still there. Yeah. You're right.
Maybe like 16 to 18 different tag teams in AEW at the moment.
Then that's the case. You're able to have a tournament, have a 16-man tag team tournament, and how they did for the women's, how they did for AEW, the best women's tag, cup tournament. They should do one for the men's. Have one like that. See what I mean, Mr. Khan? Call us.
There you go.
Right here. We are able to write for you, damn it. Write good shit.
Eli Drake and James Storm need to come up and have them do something, So many tag teams.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for episode number 20, Numero 20. We appreciate everyone for subscribing and for viewing in. Don't forget to follow the channel right below. You see right at the end of the video, follow right there to subscribe. And also don't forget our description down below. Follow our social media platform, which is Instagram, Twitter, and our website, which is circleofwake.com. There will be more content soon, and we just getting started. So give us a break. Give us a break. Come on, man. And also don't forget to follow our Catherine blog as well. And also don't forget, we want to also thank the captain. I want to go ahead and thank Brass Monkey, thank Escala, and pretty soon we'll have upcoming interviews coming soon. I'm not going to spoil them yet, just coming soon. And so coming up this Sunday, we will go ahead and actually do our top 5, which is for the week 20, which we could do our top 5 greatest world champions of all time. So the past and present, so I'm looking forward to speak about that on Sunday. And then the following one for next Sunday, which is this is the one that I cannot wait to discuss with my brothers here. We're gonna give our top 5 who should have been world champion. So I was looking forward for that. So stay tuned once again, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next Friday, as we're gonna go ahead and actually give you the updates of the results, the G1 Climax, obviously what's going around the pro wrestling news. Let me see, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW. We'll give you our thoughts about the results for Dynamite. And so stay tuned, and we'll see you next Friday, and we'll see you this Sunday. So salud, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're the host, Devious One Ivan C, alongside with that great American hero. He's gonna crush that. Oh no, here we go. There you go. There, that's right. That's right. The great American hero, Mike Lopez, ladies and gentlemen, and you. Good shout. He's gonna give you a no.
Crack that soldier boy. You.
Oh my God. I haven't heard that song in forever, man. How does the dance go? I forgot the dance that. I forgot. I know what. I gotta hear that song again. I need to. It's been a long time. Oh man. And also we have the Seidels, Cordonas, Steamboats, and now who was the other? The Murphys. Now we have the Murphys and the English.
Una de cabeza.
Una de cabeza, Mr. Matthew Steamboat. So, salud, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you on Sunday and next week.